We had that episode with the focus missionary from Ohio State, Patrick Tolles, and Pat's just awesome. And he was talking about faithfulness.
Yeah.
Just that like the Lord is calling us to faithfulness. That we won't be able to see the fruit when we're being faithful, but the fruit is promised. So we can be expectant that the fruit's going to come. Like when we're being faithful in those early times when we're meeting, we're going for another Saturday or we're doing another thing. It's like, man, I don't know if I want to do this, but I'm called to be faithful right now. Even though the fruit's not immediately apparent to me, I know that the Lord has promised fruit and I can be expectant.
Yeah.
Right? I can be expectant.
I want to add on to what I said, though, in the beginning. It's about being faithful and crying out, though, at the same time. Because even though it's promised, the Pentecost was fulfilled through the cry. And I think that I think we're a church right now who's not interceding and we're not crying out. And because of that, a lot of the promises aren't being fulfilled. And so if it's a parish staff and they're not crying out together, maybe the promises that God wants on that parish, they aren't being fulfilled because the people in that parish aren't crying out together.
And I would actually say, and I think we'd even have a conversation about that maybe in like a future episode or something, but I would even say that that's wrong ordered faithfulness. Like when we're actually faithful, we cry out. Like think about I've said this before, but a lot of the parishes I go to around the country, the prayers of the faithful, they're not prayers of the faithful at all. They're just complaints that we say, Lord, hear our prayer to. And it's like, that's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done because it's not about my agenda from the pulpit. It's about me actually being faithful. Like me being faithful and crying out, knowing God promised something. So when I pray that the Lord would pour out more vocations to every vocation, to the priesthood, the religious life, to the married life, Lord, I pray that you would do that. I have to say it with a faithfulness because like when I cry out, I have to know that I have a God that's listening, that's good and wants to give me that. So I agree with you. I just think that like we as church have to get back to understanding faithfulness as having crying out a part of it. Like that's the prayers of the faithful are for that reason. At least I think.
That's good. And